Hey there, everyone. Chaplain Tom with Safe Harbor Community. I'm so glad you're with us today as we try to clear up a viral video that was intended as satire that is being distributed as this person's real thoughts and feelings. If you have a moment, we'd really appreciate if you would subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook as listed here. So, one of the things we try to do is pass on helpful information. The first thing that we are going to highlight is this viral information that has gone out, and this young lady had created a satire video which is being distributed all over the interwebs, including by President Donald J. Trump. And he, in his post, took her transcript and just reposted it word for word, not saying it was satire. So what we're going to do is watch her apology TikTok, and we're also going to see at the very end of this video the original one, which may or may not have been blatantly clear that it was satire. But before we do that, we want to highlight some of the missing people. I'm in Michigan, and these are two juveniles, Allison Blackwell and Tasia Keaton, and we're going to give more information later in the video. But I also want to thank everyone. We were part of finding Layla Proctor and her friend. They were found safe, and I was contacted by Layla's mother to thank us for the work that we did. So next up is the TikTok video of at Red Said Blues apology and clarification.
I satired too close to the pits of hell, and I am very sorry for it. I posted a satire video, and I thought that was obvious. And before I get into that, I just want to say, anyone can post anything on the internet. Anyone can say anything. They can post anything. They can share anything, apparently. Don't believe what you hear on the internet. I posted a video that I thought was obviously satire, which if you don't know what satire is, I'm realizing some people might not. It's when you say something as if it were true, but it's so absurd that it's obvious that it's not true. And so I posted a video about a paid protester. I truly thought it was so obvious that it was a joke. And I thought that anyone who did take it seriously, if they shared it with someone else, the next person would be like, bro, that's satire. That's not what happened. So I posted a video saying I was a paid protester. Basically, the character realizes that everything that they are protesting for is really reasonable and agreeable, makes sense. The weird thing is people did get to that part. It wasn't oh, they only watched the first 10 seconds and ran with that. They really did watch till the end, and they still didn't get it. So if you saw a video saying that there's a paid protester, or if someone's told you they saw a video that there's a paid protester, send them this. That was fake. That was satire. It was a joke. It's not real. Don't post satire on TikTok. Don't believe everything you see on TikTok. Question everything. But I am sorry. That was fake. I am on Facebook. I saw that it got posted to Facebook. I am reporting it every time I see it. Please feel free to share this video if anyone told you that they saw that video. And I'm sorry, it was satire, it was a joke, it was not real. I'm very sorry. I just want to add that I did take the video down. I also am going to remove everything else from my page. Everything else on my page was like, if anyone had investigated further, they would have realized that like I definitely have a liberal mindset, liberal opinions, but some people got there, some people didn't. I am just gonna take that stuff down because I don't really want the attention. But it was there. I also was wearing a T-shirt that was like mocking Trump. Weirdly, like it got shared on like kind of like right wing media, and no one even caught that was like mocking him. But yeah, it's down now. So like at first the video, it really was like getting served to the right audience. Like it was people who were laughing and like saying like joking and that they thought it was funny. It wasn't until I went to sleep and I woke up that it had been shared so abundantly with people who did not understand the satire. Like had I noticed that sooner, and as soon as I noticed it, I did take it down. I wish I could reply to all of the comments on the video who thought it was real. I can't because once it's down, I can't, and I cannot put it back up. But that is why like it existed for so long. It's just because I fell asleep, and before I went to sleep, it wasn't a problem. It was with the right people who got the satire. But yeah, once it went wrong, I did take it down, and I'm genuinely sorry.
All right, so we want to highlight a couple of teams that are missing in Michigan. I live in the Flint area, so both of these have connections to Flint. Allison Blackwell, 17 years old. You can see the stats there. Last seen on April the 1st, the block of Park Forest Drive in Flint. And you can call 911 or Officer Fryer at the number listed. And then Tasia Keaton. Looks like she left the Dearborn Heights area, or at least that's where she started. And she's not been seen since March 14th, so almost going on 30 days. And there's more information there. So please take some time to share this information with others. And as promised, here is the original satire video by @RedSaidBlue.
I was one of the paid protesters at the April 5th liberal protests. And so I just wanted to come on and talk about my experience, what I had to do to get paid, and how much I got paid. So there were two kind of parts to it. First was obviously just showing up. They gave me like a time and a place and told me to look for a girl with blue hair and a nose ring, which like I thought would be really hard because I thought like everyone was gonna look like that, but luckily she was the only one. It was really easy to find her. So yeah, that was good. I checked in. They told you that you couldn't wear anything MAGA. They also asked you not to wear red. So I just wore a black t-shirt and jeans. And yeah, I checked in and then they said just like go on the march. And then at the end, there would be like a questionnaire to answer. Oh, and then the other thing is they said they would pay extra if you brought a sign. So I did bring a sign. Again, same thing, like couldn't be MAGA, had to like be in line with like the liberal agenda. So my sign said, everyone deserves a good education, which like I don't necessarily personally agree with. Like if you're gonna be a server or like a mechanic, like you don't really need an education, but I wanted to fit in. I wanted the money. and I didn't want to like draw attention to myself, so that's what I went with. So, anyways, I went on the march, and then at the end, I had to check back in, and that's when they gave me the questionnaire. And okay, the interesting thing is like you had to answer the questionnaire as if you were a liberal, and there were right and wrong answers. Like it wasn't just like whatever you thought. Like you could get the questions wrong, and you had to get them right in order to get paid. At this point, I had already invested like 2 hours of my time, so I wanted the money, you know? So the first question, for example, was why do Republicans want more women to stay home and not work and not have jobs? And again, I just kind of like had to put myself in like their mindset. So I wrote basically like if women don't have jobs or job experiences and they have to rely on men financially, and that gives men a lot more control over their lives. For example, like, if like she's in an abusive situation or whatever, she can't really leave, especially if she has kids. She doesn't really have the means to take care of them, and she doesn't have the experience to get a job that could like afford to take care of them. So it just gives like the men a lot more control to kind of do what they want her to do, basically. So that was my answer for the first one, and I got that right. But there were some that I just like didn't really know what they would consider a right answer, you know? So I just asked, I was like, what do I do if I don't know how to answer this? And she said, just like do your best and then come talk to her at the end. So, for example, there was one I didn't really know what to say. It was like, what is critical race theory and why should it be taught? And like, what's an example of like something that you could learn from it? And I like didn't know what they wanted the answer to, you know? So I just asked her about that one, and the answer that she gave is basically they just want people to understand the lasting effects and impact of segregation and discrimination. And the example she gave, what she called it? She called it like generational wealth. And she explained that during slavery and during Jim Crow and like even after that in some places, like Black families have been essentially barred from owning homes, where like white families could own a home and then like pass that down, and their family can either like live in that home and not have to pay for a mortgage, or they could sell that and then use that money towards like other opportunities. But because Black families weren't able to own homes, they weren't able to like accumulate that wealth in the same way, and they had to like spend more of their income on rent, and they weren't getting that back the way you get back, when you buy a house. So she said that was just like one example, but yeah, that was like kind of her answer to that question. So I wrote that down. And yeah, I got paid. I got paid $100 for going to the protest, and then I got paid an extra $10 for bringing the sign. Um, and like overall, it was a pretty good experience. Like the people were pretty nice. Everyone smelled really good, which is like a surprise to me. Um, but yeah, so the questionnaire had 8 questions. So let me know if you want me to talk about the other questions. Or let me know if you have any questions. And then I think people got different questions on that questionnaire. So let me know what your questions were and like, did you get them right? Did you get them wrong?